The US is only a first world country for the wealthy. I have spent today's morning scrolling through this sub. I frequent here, but today's stories just broke my heart. The struggle some of you have to go through makes simply not ending it an achievement. I am a 19-year-old currently working in Eastern Europe. The entire Western world believes Eastern Europe to be synonymous with low income. But even as a teenager who started his first full-time contract at 16, I cannot even fathom the same financial burdens. About a year ago I landed an okay job thanks to self-learning English, which is pretty rare in the area I live in, but the job simply pays the country's average salary. I can afford all my bills, live alone and eat out every week. I even took my girlfriend on vacation 2 months ago while slowly saving up for a mortgage. The conditions you are forced to live in while being lied to that you are privileged are abhorrent. I will be cheering you guys on from across the ocean. Thank you for listening to my rant. Its goal was to make sure these struggling individuals know they are heard and seen not only by their peers but by people all over the world. Edit. My title does not correctly represent the point I tried to make while writing it, which is that the gap between the wealthy and not wealthy being exponentially bigger than in other developed countries. Someone put it best, the US is a country club for the rich. American media lies to Americans and rest of the world that their country is a good country. I'm an Aussie, not American. However, I wouldn't write the US off too quick. But it does have its workforce issues. The average wage in the US is $54,000. The minimum wage is $7.25 an hour. The minimum wage in OO is AUD $23.23 per hour. I really don't see how anyone can call $7.25 a living wage. Then you have the health insurance and student loan thing. Most first world countries do things a bit differently. And IMHO. A bit better. We are cheering you on too. You need to look at the amounts that Americans have saved up by age group. It's dismal. Don't be fooled about America and wealth. It's not that great, especially for age 20-30. It's horrible. Fun fact: the title for weakest minimum wage law goes to Sweden because they never created one. This interesting fact arises from the fact that Swedish employers paid their workers well to begin with, so a minimum wage law was never needed. I'm a 46F and have said for years we're a second third world country with the illusion of being first world. You could say that about a lot of third world countries, that the rich live lives of luxury on the backs of the poor. First, second and third world don't have to do with wealth but with geopolitical alignment. It's a Cold War term used to refer to which bloc a country was a part of. First world is more inclusive than the West because it can have countries like Japan, South Korea, Australia and New Zealand. Second world would be used to refer to countries aligned with the USSR. Nowadays China, Russia aligned would make more sense. Third world would refer to countries that either don't fit this binary or are neutral. Think Peru, Finland, India, many places in Africa. Its connotation with wealth is just kinda racist. It seems exclusionary and like another way to otherize our brothers and sisters in the second and third world. It's far better to use developed, developing, undeveloped to refer to infrastructure, social care, education, etc. It's much less otherizing and it acknowledges the simple fact that it's a matter of wealth distribution, not of some mystical other thing. Sorry. This is a huge pet peeve of mine. I swear that $13 I was making back in 2015 is more than the $28 I make now. I had more stuff then than I do now, and it's downright stupid. Well, it is difficult for a lot. But even the poorest of the poor usually have running water, electricity, access to phones and internet and free food and so on. So, actually that doesn't make it sound much better. As a non-rich person, who's been to actual third world countries, you couldn't be more wrong. You read through posts on probably the most negative subreddit on this site and are surprised to find sob stories? You need to get out in the world more often. Try actually coming to America and seeing for yourself that the ratio of struggling versus non-struggling people is exactly the same as in Europe. The struggling people here in America have PS5s, 42-inch flat-screen TVs, and the latest version of a smartphone. They use DoorDash to get food delivered on a daily basis and don't truly understand what it means to be hungry. Don't get me wrong. America is not perfect by any stretch. But the idea that people here are struggling like they are in other countries is a joke. I'm from a third world country and we have better healthcare and education. Your definition of the world countries is incorrect. America is the first world country. It has nothing to do with economic prosperity or standard of living but alliance to America, NATO or Soviet Union, Warsaw Pact. Just to be pedantic, first world nation as a designation has nothing to do with living standard and is only meant to imply that the country is aligned with the first superpower, with second world being those aligned with the second and third world being those aligned with neither. As long as the US is a superpower, then it can't be anything other than the first or second, with that being determined by perspective. It's also a first world country for the brainwashed MAGA people, who are brainwashed about freedom. Wow. You're 19 and have had the ability to take a 2-month vacation. I am 25 and never been able to take a 4-day vacation. I can't picture taking a 2-month vacation. I don't know a single person that has. Standard of living versus cost of living. If this sub was a true indication of America, then we would have disintegrated into nothing decades ago. This sub is a collection of the mostly American Redditors that hate their jobs the most or feel like they've been treated the worst by their employers. If you group together the people who hate their jobs the most in any place on earth and start asking them to describe their experiences, that place is going to sound terrible no matter where it's at.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.